All right, welcome in Buffs Nation to another edition of S2S Colorado Live on the Voice of College Football. I'm one of your co-hosts, Manny, co-host Miles. Make sure to give us a follow on X at Manny_303 and at Miles Highs Buffs. Again, our X channel account, that'll be at Colorado VOCFB. You can catch today's show on Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, Amazon Believe, or whatever you get your podcast, any streaming major podcast network. Remember, a reminder, we now have memberships available. So if you want to support the show and super chats, if you feel inclined to help support the work we do, again, we would appreciate every bit of it. Again, this is not net, we don't require it. Just love that we able to bring what we do to the community. And as always, be sure to check out VOCFB store. Miles, how you doing, man?
Can't complain. I was kind of excited there when I thought it was going to snow. We haven't had a lot of snow this winter, but I'm doing well. It's good Friday. I'm excited for the guests we got.
Yeah. We have one of the people, an individual I look up to. I've had him on our show in the past when it was just myself doing it. But we got our guy, Dukes the Scoop, on with us. Dukes, man, thank you so much for joining us, bro.
Man, how you doing, man? Appreciate y'all having me.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we I know I went back and watched the show earlier this week, before the season that we had you on, Dukes, and man, my prediction was so bad. 9-3, I think I had us.
I think I was close to that. Yeah, I was right around there if I didn't say that. So yeah, man. I think based on the roster, it didn't sound crazy. Yeah, but it just goes to show you that you always got to line it up, right? I think it's one of those things where you can't win championships on paper, and that was really a practice, a exercise in that practice for sure.
Yeah, I know. Everybody's been asking me. They're like, "Would you put on the grade for the transfer portal, the class?" I said, "I'm not doing that this year. I don't even know if I give a prediction until we get real close." So, but yeah. So Dukes, I know. Again, I had you on before, and we have shows kind of started to grow a little bit. But those who don't know, just to kind of most everybody, most if not all of everyone knows who you are, right? That follows Colorado football, Auburn football, or even football recruiting in general. What I want to do is just kind of give you, I know you talked about it last time, and man, I love the story you told about a little bit of background on you, your upbringing, and how you got to where you were at, with On3 and now where you're at. And it was just, if you don't mind, if you could share that with this game, appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Shoot, man, from College Park, Georgia. I guess kind of the short version is went to Auburn University. I was just a guy actually threw parties, did everything but go to school. So I was pretty popular on campus and made a lot of good relationships there. Got a job in the athletic department. I was managing the athletic department. So basketball, swimming, whatever you did at Auburn, I pretty much had a relationship with you. And just parlayed some of those relationships with the football thing. Years later, a couple of my buddies were on Auburn staff. They were like, "Hey, look, bro, like these guys who call us for articles, they make pretty good money, but a lot of this stuff. You should try it." And so I go to 24/7 Auburn Undercover, and I'm like, "All right, y'all, give me a job because I know what's going to happen." And they're like, "Bro, it does not work like that." And so I just go to Twitter, and then I took it the wrong way, right? But I'm like, "All right, well, I'm gonna just go to Twitter and do it." And I go to Twitter, and it actually blows up, and then maybe a year or so later, they actually offered me a job and worked that for 2 years. And then on Shannon Terry caught wind of an interview I did with KJ Bolden, CEO of On3. He calls and he's like, "Bro, look, I'm going to pay you what they paying you. I'm going to give you 3 times that. Come work for me." And I did. And we had a pretty good relationship. And then, we just kind of had a difference in opinion at On3, like as far as what I wanted to do. I felt like I had more to offer than high school recruiting interviews, and they kind of were like, "Look, this is the role you were hired for." So we decided to part ways. It kind of blew up a little bit. Coach Prime got involved, and it kind of blew up. But it's crazy because I talked to Shannon. Actually, if you go on 3, it's starting a Colorado site now. And I talked to Shannon. He hit me. It was like, "Look, bro, we would love for you to come back." And I was like, "I'm building something," you know what I'm saying? But I just, he extended the olive branch, and if you go on the On3 Auburn site today, they wrote a full article on one of my interviews and gave me a whole bunch. Actually, on the Deion Sanders Jr. interview I put out last night. Yeah. So, yeah, man, it's just one of those things where I've been blessed, man. Like even sometimes it'll be like the most unlikely sources that are just like, hey, Dukes. I'm like, damn, I thought we was beefing, but you know, hey man, you clearly realize that you aren't, right? And you just stay grateful and you just stay working, and people notice your work.
Yeah, and I remember this, Dukes. Tell me if I remember this wrong, but I think they approached you and said you could get a free subscription, right, to On3?
Oh yeah, 247. Yeah, when I first started at 247, yeah, I was like, bro, y'all gonna pay me? They was like, you can get a subscription. I'm like, all right, try these.
Yeah, say less.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah. No, first off, I want to say again, thank you so much for joining the show. And I resonate with the whole everything but school element. That was my experience at Boulder as well. So I hear you there. And I just wanted to say, I think props to you for, noticing the what you're building and then kind of putting your foot down in the situation of saying like, hey, like I appreciate it, but I really feel like I got this new direction that I want to go, and kind of taking that chance on yourself. So props to you for that. I think that's awesome.
I appreciate that.
Of course. I'm curious to know, like, going to Auburn and obviously it sounds like you have this relationship with Coach Prime and everything, but like, when did you realize that you wanted to get more into covering Colorado on a broader scale?
I would probably say when all of that happened with the separation at On3, because the time it made it look like, oh, they don't like Colorado, and it just blew up, right? And I'm watching it, and I'm on the phone with my homeboy. Actually, my man DJ Scream, he has his podcast called Big Facts. It's a huge podcast, and they do perspectives with bank. Matter of fact, they did the Young Thug interview that went crazy last year. Yep. I'm on the phone with Scream, and I'm like, hey, bro, like Coach Prime just tweeted at On3, and I was like, bro, they got to pay me for like 4 more months, bro. Like, I might not get this bread. He was like, I'm like, he was like,
it's a 2-week notice now.
Yeah, you feel me? I'm like, I need the rest of my contract. It was, it was a pretty good chunk of change. And Scream was like, hey, bro, you better let God work, stop playing. And that's kind of how it went. So when Coach Prime hit me, he was like, look, I want you to go work with Bucky before you take a job. Because he literally just went out and said, y'all need to go hire this dude. And when Coach Prime gives you that kind of cosign, people want to hire you. And I turned down a few jobs, and it was kind of, and they were jobs. And that's kind of what he told me. He was like, bro, it's gonna be the same thing. No matter, it's just gonna be with a different label on it. And so I thought about it, and I'm like, well, it don't get a whole lot bigger than On3 and CBS Sports. And I've done both of those already in a short period of time. The only thing I haven't tried is to do it on my own. And so since I had to I started with Bucky and the Colorado Buffs Nation. They just took me in immediately. And I grew a channel. I started my channel last year, and it grew like exponentially. Like I think I'm up to 16,000. I'm almost at 17,000 subscribers, and that's basically in a year of work. So, and I would say probably about 70% of that is Colorado fans. So it's about 30% Auburn, but now the majority of that is Colorado fans. So sometimes you just gotta, go with the current, right? Sometimes you can go against the flow, but usually people like kind of guard against that. They warn you against doing things like that. So when things are going in a positive direction, I just kept with it, and I was able to get out to Colorado, go see it. And when you have that type of access, it allows you to create and curate so much more content. And so that's what I did, man, being able to have the ins and the outs of what was going on. And having good sources. So I said, you know what, I'll do Colorado, and Auburn is naturally a place that I built a lot of my reputation. That's how I got into 247 CBS Sports, and On3 was what my work in Auburn. So I just brought that back, combined those two. And people said it wasn't going to work, and they was like, oh, man, you need to be Colorado only, or you should be Auburn only. We don't want to see that junk. And I thought about it, and I'm like, ESPN doesn't have they don't say, oh, this is ESPN and you for only Braves fans. They have that, but people still subscribe to ESPN.com. People still subscribe to On3 and 247, and they have different fan bases on each channel. So I decided, I said, if they want to see it, they'll subscribe, and people have continued to subscribe. So, man, I'm just grateful.
It's awesome.
Yeah, love that, man. And you're good at what you do, Duke. So again, every time I said, man, this is someone I look up to. Well, starting this, you were one of my first guests I had on. I was nervous, all palms are sweating, all this to talk. I'm not gonna mess this up, but I was like, I appreciate all you do, though, and I reach out to you, and you always are, more than happy to help support. So thank you for all you do.
Man, no problem. You too, man. I appreciate you, man, recognizing and then even inviting me on early on in your show. Thank you, bro.
Yes, always. So let's jump into some ball now.
Sure.
So we seen last week, right? You were interview, talked with Coach Marion, right? You had a show with him. So just kind of around that, like, how do you feel about Colorado's coaching additions?
I say you hire guys with a CEO mentality. I think Coach Marion, regardless, I don't think last year goes the way it did. And this is in no way, any shape or form disrespect to Coach Sherman, but I think if Coach Prime had to step away last year, I don't think you get the same amount of fall off that you got when he wasn't around. If Marion would have been around. The reason I say that is, and Marion maybe wasn't ready last year, but going to run his own program at Sacramento State, handling the recruiting process, having guys that he brought that were working under him that had college football experience, it gave him a different mentality. It gave him a different viewpoint. And I think by bringing that viewpoint to Colorado, he's able to go and look in your program and find the blind spots, find the leaks or the chinks in the armor, the leaks in the ship, and he can plug those himself because he has enough respect because he's offered a ton of these kids already while he was somewhere else. His literal offense is on NCAA. His offense, his.
I'll play it.
you feel me? So. And two, he's done it. He did it at a college level. So, yeah, he did it at a pro level too, but he was very, very prolific at the college level and had a chip on his shoulder and got it out of the mud. We always talk about, we're getting out the mud. Oh, yeah, man, we came from the bottom. He literally was homeless to play college football. So, with that being said, how much back and forth are you going to have if you don't feel like getting your next rep, if you don't feel like, I don't want to watch film today, and you're talking to Brendan Marion, who literally slept in a hallway at a school so he could go recruit a team to play with him. So, yeah, I think just the level of respect that he carries in that building, his reputation precedes him. But when you get to see him in person, you see it's the real deal. They always say you should never meet your heroes, but I think he's someone who kind of breaks that mold. Like, he's a guy that if you look up to him from afar, you got to meet him in person.
Yeah.
God, love that, man. And then, I know, just today we were talking, before Miles and I were talking, I was like, man, for some reason I went down, when you're sitting at work kind of in the afternoon, just kind of like, man, this day, it's Friday. I sat there and I don't know what I did, but I started watching Brendan Marion college highlight, at Tulsa. I was like, God dang, man.
They're going around on Twitter right now.
God, I think that's where it started. And then I went on my own little thing, and I was like, man, can you imagine that dude? Like, that dude should have been playing, some power ball. Guess what at the time? Power 4, Power 5, Power 6, however many conferences we had then. But that dude could play some Power 4 football now. That was awesome though. Awesome watching him.
Yeah, I mean, and if you go look at his NFL highlights from camp, he was going crazy before his injuries. Like, you really got to go check him out. Like, Coach Marion is a guy who took lemons and made lemonade, because there are a lot of guys who wouldn't, as he got so much coverage preseason with the Dolphins about his story. He was on First Take. He was on he was on a ton. He got a ton of media coverage to be a guy who didn't have this big lofty draft status, and he got injured multiple times and it didn't go his way. That's enough to crush people, but he never let it. He just, all right, look, next, we got to go. No time to cry. And I think that mentality is what he's bringing to Boulder, and I think it's going to permeate through that building.
Absolutely.
1,000%. I think it's such a great point. And I think in every interview that I've seen with him, he's just so personable. Like, he makes every person that he talks to feel like they are a good friend of his that he's known his entire life, which is such a rare quality for people. And I think it's what's so impressive to see about him and his resume, things that you've mentioned already, is like every step that he's taken in his career feels kind of like that perfect timing, right? Like, obviously perfect timing in Colorado, play on words, but everything had like a purpose, and everything had a reason. And he gets to this point with Sac State, and when the hire first was made, I think I tweeted out originally, it was like, if he can get a 4-star to come to Sac State, imagine what he can do in Boulder, Colorado. And somebody else had said, if our recruiting is at a 20 right now, it's going to be at a 2,000 by the end of next year, because that's just what he loves to do. So I think that's so cool. And outside of Coach Marion, is there any other position group coach or somebody else that's been brought in that really like piqued your interest?
Coach Marv. Chris Marr from Virginia Tech. He sat out last year. I'm very familiar with him. He was a rising star in the industry. He was one of the youngest Power 4 defensive coordinators. He had APR, Antoine Powell-Ryland, who was second in the nation in sacks. Also, I believe he led the nation, and he's either 1 or 2 in tackles for loss, but he had a crazy amount. And that was based on the defense that he was calling. Now, it didn't go his way. And I think it's one of those things where I just did a video talking about Rob Livingston still being a hot commodity, because people feel, because when you have a certain grasp of certain concepts, people will pay for that, because in anything in life, you always pay for your deficiencies. So if you have someone who's overly sufficient in one phase of the game, they may be the missing piece to what you need. So with that being said, you look at a guy like Chris Marv, who, it didn't end the way it started at Virginia Tech. But when it comes to that front seven, if you need a guy that's going to chase the ball in practice, someone who is eloquent, someone who could go coach an Ivy League team if he needed to, he could. And he's straight out of Memphis, Tennessee, so he's really relatable. So I think Chris Marv is one of those guys where he's going to be able to speak the language with younger guys, and he can communicate effectively no matter where he is. And I think that's really important, the communication and understanding when you're looking at building leaders. And I think that this is what that team needs more than anything, leaders. And that he's a great candidate to help these young men become leaders.
Love that. No, I'm with you there. I know Miles and I talked about it. I was like, man, that's such a big time hire. Like we were totally on board with it. So I love it though. Let's jump into this. So I know, right, we had the recruiting class come in, transfer in high school. How are you feeling about it, like right now overall?
I think the transfer portal class was exactly what was needed. You got a lot of guys with previous production. You got guys who got ties to the staff. I think I do. I really like what they did in the transfer portal. You got better in the secondary. You got you got a wide range. You got guys from FCS all the way up to Power 4 SEC starters. You got a really good blend of talent. And I think you got some guys with some things to prove, and I think the attitude is there. Sometimes people don't play not because of talent. Sometimes they don't play because of mentality. And I think as of now, it's hard to tell, and I really want to wait until I see more. But I do think you've got some guys where it's you can go look at their history, you can go look at their sound bites, you can look at their previous interviews, and you can tell that the mentality is different. So I'd say I'm really happy with the transfer portal class. I think there's some talent to be desired with the high school recruiting. Just to keep it a buck, I felt like it could have been stronger, but that's something that's getting worked on as we speak. And I also feel like the position group they needed the most help in my opinion, was the linebacker group, and I think they knocked linebacker out of the park. When you think about Carson Crawford and Rodney Colson, two guys that depend if Colorado didn't recruit so well in the transfer portal, they would play significant minutes day one, and they still may, because you got Rodney Colson, who's been a 4-star down there his whole life. I mean, since I've seen his name, he was a 4-star almost. One of those guys who mature early and just refined his technique year after year after year. And then you get the Crawford, who's he's a freak. When you think about his athleticism, how well he runs, a sideline to sideline guy, as he gets into that nutrition program, and my man Carl Solomon hooks up those plates, you're going to see him put more pounds on. And I think he has everything in him to be the next great Colorado linebacker that's been recruited from day one. So there are some bright spots, and I love Preston Ashley. Great energy out of Ashley, man. I think he was the quintessential Coach Prime defensive back that he needed, and he's not the 5'11" or 6 feet guy that the controversial thing that Coach Prime said about his corners, but they cut the quote there. And because he said, hey, we got some slot guys that are ballers that need to be paid more, and I think they will be paid more. And I think Preston Ashley fits that mold excellently.
Yeah, 1,000%. You're spot on. And I wouldn't throw out I wouldn't miss on Colby Johnson either. I think he's also in the linebacker room is going to be a contributor. And I think like on that point, right, I think there are a lot of guys that you look at, like even the guys in the offensive line, the Josiah Manus and the Xavier Paynes, who are like, these are all guys that I feel like they have a very specific vision for, and they're not just throwing out offers to guys because they have 3 stars. It's like, we expect you, we have a role for you, and we expect you to play early. And so that's really cool to see. It's also going back to your point before. I'm a basketball guy, on the other side of football. And like, if you ever played NBA 2K and tried to rebuild a team, it's not just about getting the best 5 players on the court. It's about creating a cohesive unit. So like looking at last year's team, it was like, yeah, you brought in a lot of talent. There was a lot of stars all over the place, just didn't mesh well. And it looks like this team, from what I'm seeing, like is already meshing infinitely times better than what we saw last season.
Yeah. And I think sometimes that mesh can start from the top, and I think that there's a certain level of expectation being placed on these guys that may be a little bit different. I think Coach Prime being involved and not recovering from cancer this year, him being involved in the level that I don't think he's been as locked in as he is now. And that's not because he wasn't doing a good job previously. It's because, man, you really face death. And then you go back and you don't have the season that you want. And you could think to yourself, you say, if that was it for me, would that be how I want to go out? And I think Coach Prime is the type of guy that says, nah, I'm not going out like that. So I think the renewed vigor that he has, I saw it personally. I went in December. I went out to Colorado. I didn't make a big deal out of it, but I definitely went. And I did make a video, and I said, look, I called Coach Prime Primo Brown, like Nino Brown from New Jack City, right? I said, look, it's like he's in a Carter. It's like he's checking. And if you watch, if you've ever seen New Jack City, you knew Nino Brown was checking every corner of the Carter, which was the place where they made his product. That's exactly how Coach Prime was. He was involved in everything. I went to recruit, and I heard him going over. How did this guy make it to me? Like, and well, it wasn't supposed to make it. Like, it wasn't supposed to make it to him, but he was going up close he was going further up the assembly line because he wanted to know everything that was going on. So. I definitely think there is a different feel. Let me say that, to say the least.
Totally.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's what it sounds like, Red. I know, we heard some things again, right? There's a lot of noise after the season when, you come off the season they just had, right? We talk, some rumblings or whatever it may be about, Coach Phillips and what happened there, I don't want to. It's not about him. It's about what changes have you seen. You explained that pretty well a minute ago. But what changes have you seen or heard now with Box leading the way?
I mean, Box is a Phillips disciple. Like, they taught each other. I mean, he learned a lot from Phillips, and sometimes it's just like I think with Coach Phillips, he kind of got a bad rap, right? In my opinion, I think. But when you go 3-9, somebody has to wear that. Yeah. Somebody got to wear that shirt. Nobody wants to wear the ugly shirt, but they're gonna put it on somebody. I think he got scapegoated a little bit. But then you look at some of the things that he did. When you look at the players that were brought in, like, did you miss on London Merritt? Did you miss on Alexander McPherson? Did you miss on Tawfiq Bayard? Like, did you miss on these guys? Like, these guys. Now, you didn't retain them, right? But you didn't miss. And so I think I think we have to, because it's easy. It's super easy when you get mad and you're losing. He didn't do this, and it's so many. Every school in the country has a GM or personnel guy that misses. Yeah. Nobody is perfect. Right now, people are still mad at Gus Malzahn because Lamar Jackson didn't go to Auburn. Lamar Jackson literally is won multiple MVPs in the league now. And it's like, oh, man, you remember back in 2015, people are mad at Deshaun Watson not going to UGA. I mean, it's part of the business. Nobody's going to bet 1,000%. So I wanted to get that out there. But as far as changes, I'd say I think the change really starts with Coach Prime, to be honest.
Yep.
I think that's the most different I guess factor, and that what's making the most impact is that Coach Prime is involved in more. And he's supposed to delegate. You're supposed to be the CEO. The CEO isn't supposed to be making the burgers, right? The CEO of McDonald's should not be, on the assembly line. Right. But the CEO should know how to run the assembly line in case everybody calls out. And I think that's what Coach Prime has done. If everybody's out of the office, Coach Prime can still run the operation. Now I think that's the difference. Where it's like, hey, look, what are you doing? Show me exactly what your job is. I remember when I used to I come from warehouse management, and I got pretty high up. And so when I left, I was running my own building, and I got there and I was replacing somebody, and they said he was a guy who liked to stay in the office. Well, I went to every hourly associate and learned their job. And what it did was it allowed me to know if somebody was BSing me or not. So I could go out there and say, hey, man, you're supposed to have this many per hour. What's wrong? He could say, oh, the machine's broke. All right, well, I can go. And if I don't know how to work the machine, I have to take his word for it. And I think that's what Coach Prime is. He's dug down so deep that you can't BS him. And I'm not saying anybody was, but at least hey, did we call this kid? Where's the number? Well, I know who the contact is on this, and they told me nobody's called him this week. Well, if I got to call him, that's a problem for you.
Yep.
Accountability. Yeah, exactly. So I think that accountability that's going to be, I think that's one of the biggest differences. And I think also Bob's just a dog anyway. Like he a dog, bro. And you can't underscore or undersell or undervalue the presence of Brennan Mary and Chris Marr. Both of those guys are dog recruiters. So
totally. Yeah, it's there's so many great points that you brought up in that. I think like in my personal world, I work a lot of times with like startups, and you always hear from people that are doing startups, like CEOs. They're always involved in everything that's going on, because it's like you have to understand how your operation works before you can really kind of step into that oversight role. And so that's such a great point. I also personally felt that Coach Phillips got scapegoated a little bit and all of that. There is, like, I talked to a bunch of people and everybody said the same thing, which is like, what happened last year was not one person. Like it is a group, project that everybody has responsibility in. So trying to make it off like it's a single person, there's concerns around that. I want to switch a little bit to something on more of like a general scale, get your take on it. Is curious to know, we've talked a lot about this on the show, but the importance of high school recruiting in today's modern college football landscape. And then it's a two-part question: the importance of in-state recruiting. Like, do you see value in both high school recruiting today and then also prioritizing in-state kids?
It depends on what state you're in.
Sure.
So in Georgia, you got to.
Yep.
If you're Georgia, and I think it's always good, but if you can recruit with a national imprint and some of the guys that may be local to you aren't ranked as high as some of the guys that don't fit as well, then I don't know if you prioritize those guys. But it depends on the state. In Georgia, Florida, Texas, you go look at those states. Yes. Now, for Colorado, I think you could, like, when you don't want to let your best guys get out of town. Mm-hmm. I think you want to make sure that you keep your best guys, but they got to be a fit, right? So I don't think that you upset the balance of vibe. I don't think you mess the vibe up in your locker room just to bring in a guy who may not fit. Now, I don't know if that's happened or not. This is just my opinion on what I think about in-state recruiting. I don't think you let in-state recruiting supersede what's going on in your locker room or your plan or your recruiting board. So, but and I think the original part of it was the first part of the question. I think I went in reverse, but the first part of the question was how important is high school recruiting in today's world, and it's still important to me, right? I think it's 50-50. When you go back, there was a great article put out by The Athletic where they looked at all of the playoff teams and they had a percentage of how many transfer portal guys were there, and it was Indiana had a ton, Georgia didn't. And you can just kind of tell, like, there were some guys who had quick success, and there have been guys who've been playoffs every year that do really well recruiting high school. So I think there's a balance, and I think there's an expectation as well. When you recruit well in high school, you have to really there's a level of maintenance that goes along with that. So are you a developing school? Are you a championship school? Are you a school that has the bag and you're gonna get paid every year? You have to identify yourself in order to go out and recruit high school, because whoever you say you are, you have to remain that person for the entirety of this guy's college career, because if you don't, they'll get in the transfer portal. And I think that's the nuance of recruiting from high school.
Love that. No, I think so, because that is that's a debate Miles and I have been going back and forth on, is how much time do you want to spend? How much, of your resources do you want to spend there? And that's just kind of, I like that perspective as well, though. Like you said, it almost feels it's still important, but each program has to do it a little bit differently because of, right, let's just be the money situation, right? So It is what it is, right? And but I love that answer, though.
For the record, I'm team high school and Manny is team portal. So we'll see in the long run which one of these like bodes more well for us. But Dukes, I know we.
Go ahead, Miles. My bad.
I was gonna say, I know we've taken a good amount of your time here on this wonderful Friday, so appreciate you again for being here. I kind of wanted to jump into some rapid fire, unless Manny, you had any other top-of-the-line questions.
Let's do it.
All right,
we're gonna put you on the spot here. We got a couple of quick ones we held back from you, if that's okay.
All right, cool.
All right, first one, softball. What's your favorite food?
Man, I would probably have to go with, if I had one food I could eat forever, probably collard greens.
Collard greens. Okay.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
Yep. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dream car.
My dream car, BMW 2014 650 convertible.
Love it.
Wow. What color?
I go black.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I might get that, but that's just the car I always fell in love with since the time I saw it.
I hear you. I was more of an Audi guy myself, but
okay.
A position you'd play if you went to the NFL, if you played high level, like position you would be.
I'd probably be a slot corner.
Slot corner.
Or nickel type. Probably like a nickel. Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right, Deeks, this is one, man. I had to throw it out there, right? So let's say you're a high school recruit today, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get an offer from Auburn or Colorado. Where are you going?
Georgia.
We're gonna clip this.
Yeah.
Georgia.
No, Georgia. Auburn or Colorado. Come on, Dukes.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Like, it just depends, because it, like, for me, it's different, right? If I'm a high school recruit, then that means I don't have okay, boom, my son. That's probably a better one, right?
Okay.
Okay, my son's 12, he's in 7th grade. Lord willing, he'll be this big time recruiter or whatever, and he may have to choose between Auburn and Colorado. I think he would probably go with he would probably go with Auburn first out. Just
what position is he?
He's a nickel safety too.
Okay.
He's like a nickel safety running, but that's what he really is. He's like he's a little guy. He's a big hitter, so it's kind of like that's what he loves to do. He don't want to do no 7-on-7. He won't play 7-on-7 right now. He hates it. He's like, when do we get to tackle, Dad? I'm like, bro, you don't tackle. If you tackle one of these kids out here, bro, I'm gonna have to fight somebody, Daddy, bro. Relax. But yeah, I think to answer that question, I would probably say Auburn, and then Colorado on the transfer portal.
Okay. And then you said Georgia. So why Georgia? You said that a minute ago, and I was like,
because if it came down to it, I just wouldn't. I wouldn't. Because Alex Golders is my guy too.
Okay.
So if it came down, if my final two were Coach Prime versus Alex Golders, I'd probably just go see Kirby. And then they could, you know what I mean? Like, all right,
yeah,
I'm not gonna pick between my two guys. Right?
Yeah,
love it. And then this is one that I have this conversation with a ton of people. But who's your favorite ATL musical group?
Outkast.
Okay, that's mine too. I have this argument, with even some of the younger kids, and they start telling me Migos, and I was like, man, you guys don't know anything about Outkast, Stankonia. What do you got? And so that's my favorite as well. So just curious.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Andre 3000, my favorite ever, man. So and we from like the same place.
Okay,
so that's cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I mean, that's pretty much all we got. We appreciate you again for sticking with us on this Friday. I will need your help at some point. I've only been to ATL one time.
Okay.
And unfortunately, I stayed at an airport hotel and I DoorDashed wings, which did not go well for me. So if you got a spot that you know of that when next time I go back that you should recommend, please let me know because I would love to get a true experience.
I am literally from the airport area. That's
okay.
Like literally like the airport puts on like my mom's house, like the soundproof windows or whatever. The airport has to provide those. That's how close we live to the airport.
Okay.
So,
let me know. I'll
definitely, man. Next time you come, we're gonna go up and down Old National and we'll sample different wings.
Perfect. I'll hit you up.
All right, for sure, man.
Dukes, one more thing though. I like, as always, I love to do this. Tell us anything that you're working on. It sounds like you had some, but anything you're working on that our viewers should be on the lookout for, and then tell us where they can find you at.
Man, I think and I'm just so right now in February, I decided I was just gonna do a ton of interviews, and I just been rolling out interview after interview after interview. So this is like my February interview series, wintertime. So I got a couple big ones coming up. I had Brandon Marion, got a lot of support on that one. Deion Sanders Jr. last night. I got 2 more big ones in store. So just stay tuned. So check me out on Dukes D Scoop, the Scoop with Dukes. We'll have Scoop and Dukes. Put that in YouTube, you'll find me.
I hope you've trademarked that, by the way. I'm hoping that we get like some merch, and I hope it's trademarked.
You know what? I need to bring it back, dog. I got hats, I got shirts, and man,
let us know. I'll get one.
I sold them ASAP. Like the first 24 I bought, they pre-ordered and bought them like within the same night. Man, it was crazy. So, man, Colorado fans are. You know what? I want to change my answer. My son going to Colorado, bro.
Let's go.
He's going to Colorado. That's where he's going. They got I've never seen a fan base like this. And I went to Auburn, dog. I went to Auburn. My godbrother played at Georgia, played for the Buffalo Bills. Like, listen, I've seen some crazy fan bases. I ain't seen nothing. The support level that I've seen that Colorado has over the past few years, it's incredible. It's insane. That's where Cam Dukes, if he was to commit today, Cam Dukes would be committed to the University of Colorado. Coach Prime, Coach Marion. This would be Coach Marvin, Coach Livingston, man. I got a 5-foot pocket bully that's ready to go bite some, man. Pause.
We're getting the custom jersey made as we speak.
Okay.
Yep.
That'll be the next one right here.
Oh, that'll be hard, man. For sure, man. Put that Dukes on there. Yep.
Okay.
You just got to give us the number. That's it.
Hey, man, 28, man. For
28.
sure.
There you go. All right. Cool. All right, Dukes. Well, thanks again, man. Do appreciate you as always. And thank you again for joining us, man.
Hey, man, I'm going to get y'all on the show too next week if y'all got time.
Yep. Just let me know. We're in.
All right, bet. I'll see y'all soon.
All right. See you, Dukes.
All right, bro.
Happy Friday.
All right. Yeah. Our guy, Dukes and Scoops, man, he is, he's good at this. Like, I hope to be that good at some point, man. He's so good at this.
It's just exactly what I said about Coach Marion. Like, he just makes everybody feel like you've known him your entire life, and he's so personable and just a great all-around dude. So we've just had such a great string of interviews this offseason. So we are incredibly fortunate.
He's my favorite person I've interviewed, man, and I don't know what it is, but I think it is what you said. He just makes you feel like we've known him forever, easy to talk to, man. And his show is just, it's the same way. It's so much fun to interact with everybody. So thanks again, Dukes. As always, do appreciate you, man.
Yeah. Couple of things I want to catch up really quickly. Happy Friday to the chat. I want to say we didn't get a chance to get a lot of people that have been tapping in here. So happy Friday. Thank you for being here with us. Want to go through a couple of quick comments that we missed while we were kind of going through there. New Breed asked, will you do a show comparing portal classes? So funny enough, I actually did this right after the portal closed. It's on our channel. You can find it under the videos. There's an offensive breakdown, and then there's a defensive breakdown. It goes through stars, PFF grades, ratings, ins and outs. There's 2 45-minute videos. So if you're interested in that, go check it out because it's on the channel currently under the videos.
And I wasn't involved in that one, but it's a really, really good show. So you guys make sure you check that one out.
I did a lot of work on that one.
Yes, you did. Yep.
So the other one I want to do was Cam here saying, the vibes are so different this year. It's incredible how much the team is healthy and when he's not dealing with cancer.
Yep.
I agree. We talked about it a little bit when I showed those pictures last time, but like, it just feels like the energy is so different. There's so much more cohesive and everybody wants to be there. And there's no doubt. It's like, it feels like they're kind of developing that family atmosphere. Is that how you feel?
Man, it does feel that way. It feels back to the year before Travis and Shador's. last year there at Colorado, right? So 2 off seasons ago. It feels like that. Again, an image that is going to stick in my head is, when they're sitting there, Boo Carter, and I keep saying this, and Boo Carter's just struggling with the altitude going, he's sitting there like, come on, Boo, come on, and just cheering him on instead of just like letting him be. You know what I mean? There's nothing more important than your peers doing that, because that altitude thing is real. At our, where I coach at, we have a conditioning, weightlifting and conditioning class. We have a kid that came in that just moved to the, the area we're at from Georgia, and we're going through some agility drills. Man, he's like, I'm like, that's what I said. It's the altitude, man. It is the altitude.
Totally.
You may think you have acclimated yet, but you have not. It is, the altitude's a real thing here. It is brutal.
Yeah. And I just feel like there's so much, at least from what I've seen, and we're going to get into it a little bit throughout the Ralphie report, but I just feel like there's more leadership. Like, I feel like last year there was this big question of like, who's going to take over after, Shador and Travis left and some of the senior leadership that was on the team. And it feels like there's a lot of guys now that are just like, I'm taking reins, I'm taking control, and I'm going to be a leader in my room, even if, I'm not like the starter. So that's so cool to see. It's awesome.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Let's jump into the Ralphie report. Go for it, Miles.
I was gonna say first things first. I always do that. I'm so bad. First ones first. Yeah. Let's get some exciting news going, Manny. 10 days until Colorado spring practices start up. How are we feeling heading into spring practice?
Yep, Julian Lewis days, Juju days until the start of Colorado spring practices. Man, I cannot wait. I am like trying to figure it out. Like, man, I want to go. I cannot wait. Like, last week I was hyped. I'm hyped, just ready for football season in general. And it is February. It's snow today, right? Like, we're talking, it's cold. But man, I cannot wait for football season to start. Spring practice. Man, I can't wait to actually be covering football again.
Yeah, you're telling me. And honestly, so there was kind of a little bit of a thing that happened with me today when I realized that. Shout out to my guy, Ben's Been Dead. Mm-hmm. Great. That's one of my favorite musical artists. I know him personally, so go check him out if you haven't online. But it's one of those things where I get so excited because I'm like, it's coming right around the corner. But then I know that there's that huge gap that happens between end of spring ball to the beginning of fall camp. So I'm like, I'm trying to cherish it a little bit because I like don't want it to go too fast. And then boom, we're into that big part of the off season where literally nothing happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It really is though. Yeah, I'm with you on that. But yeah, let's jump into this. So there was I did see this spring ball draft, right?
Yeah, let me
pull that up.
My screen here.
Yeah, you guys got to check this out.
So I don't know if we can play the sound from it, but let's talk about this. I want to talk about this from a granular level, like a bigger picture level, and then I want to talk about the specifics of it if people haven't watched yet. For those of you who don't know, Coach Prime elected to do a draft for the spring game. So like typically, I guess you can correct me if I'm wrong. Typically it's like you try to figure out who your starters are. That's one team. And then your second string is close to your second team. And you just kind of go for it as if it's a practice. Yep. But no, they are drafting it and they put on some guys that they thought would be leaders. Ben Finiseth on one side and Brady Kopetz on the other. And they went position group by position group and drafted. And Keneal Sweetwine, your guy, recent 2026 Colorado QB commit, was the number one pick.
Huh. Love that. I mean, because right, the go offense, they're going to run it, and I love it. They're not going to be in shape, not going to be able to keep up with them, but I absolutely love that.
I think the part about it that excited me the most, and I saw it a little bit with some of the position group stuff, but like, I think the obvious that everybody was expecting was Juju's going to be number one, right? Yeah. And there's Brady Kopetz first off the bat being like, screw your expected, your outcome. Like, I'm taking the freshman. And that's the part of the team atmosphere of this that makes me so excited. Because like, that's a guy that's not afraid to just like, how that must have made Keneal Sweetwine feel?
Yeah. Yep.
Like that must have been like so empowering and made him feel so good.
Yeah.
That's the stuff that I see that I'm like so excited about.
Yeah, I love you guys know how I feel about Sweetwine and what that's gonna look like in the go-go. But that is, man, that's such a big, just the camaraderie that's there, right? The team, they, and again, this team actually looks like they care, love one another. It's just different. It's just different.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, and it's you. I highly recommend going to watch the well off videos. There was a couple of interesting ones. I'm pretty sure Bryce Hicks got picked either number 1 in the running back room or like pretty high up there. And then Yaya was the number 1 offensive guard that was taken. Bo Hughley was the number 1 offensive tackle taken. I, again, don't take stock in it from the perspective of like, oh, this actually means anything. I think it's just them for the sake of like, who's a good guy that they would want to have on their team and that type of stuff. So I think it's really exciting just to see how much they're coming together.
Yep. And big news, right? Spring game moved to April 11th. Man, I'm excited for that. I cannot wait for the spring game. I get so excited for the spring game because football's here, right? But then I'm kind of like, man, I got so excited for this, right? Because the spring game, right? Glorified practice, right?
Yeah, the spring game is like notoriously, I don't want to call it a flop, but like every time I've been, it's like, okay, yeah, this is like what a spring practice looks like. They're not going that hard because they don't want to get injured this early on. They're not trying to really hit each other because it's like, why would you do that at this point in the season? I think I'm excited for it. I love me some spring game. I also saw today, for those of you who haven't seen, this is going to be free. This is like, it's a completely free game. You claim your tickets. I think they come available in early March. So if you're in the area or if you need a quick vacation to do into Colorado, come to the spring game. Fun little thing. We'll do a little meetup or something. I don't know.
Yep. That'd be great. Have a little tailgate. That would be fantastic.
Totally. Awesome.
Yeah. Top 10 Colorado 2028 recruits. Those came out. I don't know if came out's the right word, but the ones that were just kind of a ranking update. I can't remember. This is Nick. So
this is a prep red zone. There's not a whole lot in terms of 2028 Colorado kids.
I think there's our guy. Where was he at? I saw him a minute ago. Where is our guy?
Hey, we got our first super chat.
There you go.
Shout out our guy. Ben's been dead. Thank you.
There you go. Skull Buffs. Appreciate that, Ben.
That's our first super chat. So thank you, Ben.
Yes, thank you.
Again, I'll say we don't do free promo, but go check out Ben's Been Dead if you're interested in finding new music. But anyway, back to the topic at hand.
No, absolutely. I like 5, Titus Heward, right? Brock Heward's son. We talked about him last week or a couple weeks ago. I can't remember. Last week. Yeah, it was just last week, I think.
I think so. Yeah,
I think so. Titus Heward, but absolutely, man, that's the one that we were talking about is like, man, he's going to move up a little bit. This is going to be fantastic. Oh yeah. North side, man. Appreciate you. He's been with man, Miles, he's been rocking with me since the very beginning of this.
Wow. That means so much. I wish you had said something so we could get the shout in there, but thank you guys. That means so much to us. And just
you have no
thank
idea.
you so much for being willing to contribute. But yeah, Titus, I think Luke Rubley got an offer from CU recently. Obviously, Nick McChesney is Matt's son. I did quickly look this up. So out of the 10 guys that are here, CU has offered Ott, so Colton Ott, Titus, Luke, and Nick. So not everybody on this list has been offered by CU, according to 247. Little bit of I'm hoping they get around to it. I also the only one that's technically ranked by 247 is Elijah Cromwell. He's a 4-star running back, has not been offered by CU, which is actually really interesting to me.
Huh. Well, what do you think the reason for that is, or do you think they just have not gotten around to it?
I hate to say, I think it's probably the latter. I mean, he's a Cherry Creek kid, 2028, 5'11", 180. Again, based on the offers that are listed on 247, he's got like Iowa, Cal, Kansas State, Miami, SMU. No Colorado, according to there's a Range Rover ad. Perfectly timed Range Rover ad. No Colorado.
We've been to some Cherry Creek games. I'll watch him sometimes right on NFHS, and this kid can play. I'm curious.
Number 7 running back.
Yeah, he is really, really good. I think it's just a matter of time, right?
Totally.
Before. And hopefully, Brendan Marion go get this kid, bro. Go get this kid, man. So we'll be really happy to land him.
Totally. And then last on the Ralphie report since last week was, speaking of spring ball and spring practices, courtesy of our friends at DNVR, the NCAA rejected the CU Syracuse joint practice again. And Manny, what are your thoughts on this?
Why? I mean, this is a way to make the spring game for every program watchable, because like we just talked about, like, yeah, we go and we're so excited, or watching, you're like, wow, that kind of sucked. That was just practice, you know, like that kind of thing. How cool would this be, right? We'd be able to see some real competition, be great for the kids, great for, and hell, even your ESPNs, whoever wants to televise it, think how much money is to be made there, right? Like it brings nothing but positive things out of it.
Yeah, and I think I was watching the DNVR segment about it, and Scott Proctor was talking about the fact that when they denied it last year, their reasoning was it was too close, like they didn't get the request in early enough. And I was like, okay, well, now it's been a year, so it's either one of two things happened: they just don't have a good reason for it, or CU somehow forgot to submit the request again, which doesn't seem likely considering they wanted to do it a long time ago. So I don't necessarily understand. Again, a subcommittee is reviewing the whole football calendar for possible changes, including, they're not asking to change the calendar. They're just asking to like do it together. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like that shouldn't really be an NCAA thing. That should just be if the schools want to do it, they should be able to do it.
Yeah, I like that. Oh, real quick, I wanted to get to this. Humble Texan says, back to Atlanta. Back to ATI, I saw that the Paradox made history by reaching #1 on the Billboard alt chart. If anyone needs new music, they are really good. So check them out. They are fantastic. You know who have you heard of them, Miles?
The Paradox? I have not.
They're a band out of Atlanta. You have to just go check them out. They're really good.
I will.
So yeah, cool. Check them out. Alternative, but they're fantastic though. So
heck yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna have, Miles, you want to jump in? I think next we have some offers.
Yeah, let's talk offers. We're not doing a 2-week breakup this time. We're gonna keep everybody caught up to speed here. Yep. And we've got a graphic. We did it. We got it in time yet. A little bit easier to see. So these are recruits offers that have gone out since last week's episode. So since last Friday, a couple of 2027 kids. We'll just work top to bottom. 3-star defensive edge Chris Caskey out of Nazareth Academy in LaGrange Park, Illinois, 6'5", 225. We've got 3-star safety Caleb Dillard out of Jenks High School in Oklahoma, 6 foot 175. We've got 3-star linebacker Bryce Breeden out of Bridge City High School in Bridge City, Texas, 6'1", 205. 3-star wide receiver Jaden Baldwin out of Basha High School in Chandler, Arizona. I got to not be the one to read these because I'm so bad with names.
Nope, keep going because, I don't want to mess them up either. So you go for it. You're doing a great job.
6'1", 180. We got, and then a couple of unranked kids, 2027 unranked defensive edge James Harris Jr. out of Cy Falls in Houston, Texas, 6'2", 225. Unranked defensive lineman Joshua Shaw Jr. Out of Immaculate Conception High School in Elmhurst, Illinois, 6'3", 300. And then unranked defensive lineman Kenny Fairley out of Creekside High School in Fairburn, Georgia, 6'1", 280. Of those names, which ones jump out to you?
I would say, I don't know. I don't know much about them. I was
gonna say, I'll tell you which ones I see. So Joshua Shaw Jr., unranked, 6'3", 300.
Mm-hmm.
That's out of Illinois. He's got some good offers. And just to give you some perspective, right? So for the unranked guys, James Harris, unranked doesn't mean that they're 0-star. It just means they haven't had a chance to be ranked yet. So James Harris Jr., the Texas kid, has offers from Arkansas, Miami, Texas Tech, Vandy, UNC, and UCLA. So he might not be ranked, but he's got offers.
Yeah, I like probably Caleb Dillard, the safety, right, with the offers from Ole Miss, OU, Miami, Florida, Texas Tech, and Tennessee.
Yep.
I would say that. And again, one of the things that I would say with this is these guys are 3 stars now. Those no, I don't want to say a lot of them, but when you have offers like that, you're going to see these guys get bumped up some stars. So he will probably end up as a 4-star.
And that's what I'm saying. Like the unranked guys are just guys that they haven't gotten around to yet, and then the 3 stars are the guys that like they did a preliminary evaluation on.
And to be clear, they don't rank 1 and 2 stars as well. I think we talked about that.
We talked about that last week. Which
So
makes no sense to me personally. I'm like, why not just do 1 through 3? If you're like, why do we have 5 stars if you can't do 1 and 2? But anyway, and then Joshua Shaw has offers. My dog's back there hucking up a lung. He's got offers from Purdue, Kansas State, Toledo, NIU, and Fresno State. So all these guys, they've got good offers. They'll be ranked by the end of the cycle. And also 6'5", 225. I mean, it's a little light for an edge. And same deal with 205 at the linebacker position. But we'll see. These are kids. They'll grow.
Yeah. Yep. I'm with you on that. Yep. Absolutely.
Cool. On the inverse, we have some visits coming in. We talked about a couple of these guys last week, both unranked guys. 2027 unranked wide receiver Ryan Ferdinand out of Palm Beach Lakes High School in West Palm Beach, Florida, 6'1", 190. He's got offers from Florida State, Syracuse, FAU, and FIU. So Florida kid getting a lot of buzz from Florida. And then unranked athlete Marquise Fennell, also talked about him last week, more of a cornerback DB out of Valdosta, Georgia, 5'10", 175, offers from Florida State, Stanford, Georgia, Arkansas, and Georgia Tech. So thoughts on those two?
Fennell, he will not be unranked much longer, or not ranked with that offer, especially once you start seeing the Georgias, Florida States of the world start offering. So that would be the one that I would be most excited for out of these two to make to make an impact, to try to sign, during these visits.
Yeah, and to get to Northside's question here, looking at offers make a difference on the decision. I there's a lot that goes into this. I mean, at the end of the day, the film is what's most important. Like none of the actual measurables or any of this matter if they're not good ball players. Yeah. But I think it gives context to the guys that are currently unranked, because again, I think a lot of times when people see unranked, they think, oh, this is a bad player or somebody that's not worthy of 3 stars. But in reality, it's just like, this is an unranked athlete that has an offer from Georgia. So clearly he's better than being unranked. And so it just gives you the context to better understand, we're not just going after 0-star recruits, guys that aren't going to be good enough to play at this level. It's more guys that they just haven't had a chance to fully evaluate from a 247 perspective.
Yep. Love that. Yeah, no, cool. I'm with you there.
Awesome. We're coming up on an hour. So let's get to our last topic of today's show. We got a surprise. Let me get a graphic going up here. We got a surprise topic for this beautiful Friday. But Manny, do you want to introduce our final segment on this wonderful Friday?
Yeah. So those of us who've been to Folsom, right? It is so much fun. It's a blast. There's food trucks right there, but sometimes, right, you get hungry watching the game, and it's man, I wish there was fast food options here, right?
Yep.
Where it's just like, which one which one do I already, I know which one I want and have ranked number 1. It might be controversial. I don't know if it's fast food or not, but I consider it fast food.
Okay, interesting. So, we'll have to see. I'm interested to see. Do we get to flip a coin to see who goes first?
So who went for? What did we do? We did something a couple of weeks ago. What did we do? Revealing our list, our top 10.
We flipped a coin, and I think I went first. So you can go first this time.
Okay. So with this, right, first pick that I would like to see as a fast food restaurant. This is controversial, right? It depends on who you ask. I have Chipotle.
That counts. I'll give it to you. That counts. I just don't know if I love the take. I would say Chipotle 5-6 years ago, 100%. Chipotle of recent, I don't know. When was the last time you went to Chipotle and saw the portion sizes?
We eat there quite a bit. I don't remember the last time, but have you tried the chimichurri sauce? Dude,
I have not.
Ooh, man, you're missing out. So
I will say, the honey garlic chicken they did a couple, it was, I don't know, it was honey garlic or something of that nature.
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
Oh man. And now I'm getting hungry talking about it. Wife, if you are watching this, please order some Chipotle.
Yeah. Unsponsored, DoorDash us something. I'm gonna take also a controversial one. I'm taking Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A, no way. That Chick-fil-A is awesome.
Yeah,
I love it. I like it.
I'm taking Chick-fil-A with my first round pick. Are we doing snake or are we doing back and forth?
Let's you decide.
All right, we're gonna do snake.
Okay. Let me ask you this though. So if you've been to Cane's?
Yeah, totally.
Whose chicken sandwich is better?
Cane's chicken sandwich is better.
Okay.
I do think Chick-fil-A sauce is better than Cane's sauce personally.
I don't even like the Chick-fil-A sauce. I never get it.
Really?
But I love Chick-fil-A though. So I think it's what kind of mood you're in for the chicken sandwich though.
Yeah,
right?
That's very fair.
Yeah.
With my second pick, I'm taking Five Guys.
Ooh, okay. Is that
I'm
fast
gonna go
food?
I think that's fast food.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not dine in. I mean, it's,
yeah. Okay.
I would chat. Let us know. Is Five Guys fast food? I think so.
What's your favorite thing there?
Just a double cheeseburger, baby. Double cheeseburger with lettuce and tomato and some peanuts on the side.
Oh man, my oldest is allergic to peanuts, so we have not been there in a long time. I know, and it's so good though. So yeah, I like that. I like that.
Okay.
My next,
you got two.
Oh yeah, my next is Taco Bell.
Interesting.
Dude,
okay.
I love Taco Bell. I've been eating a ton of soft tacos lately, which I probably shouldn't be, but I just love the soft tacos, cheesy gordita crunch, all those things. It feels like we're at dinner time right now, so I am hungry right now.
I know. I'm like I haven't eaten today, and so I'm also this is hurting me. But funny enough, so I've told the chat plenty of times we don't really have fast food in Maine. Like it's not like a huge thing. I mean, like at least where I grew up, but the first time I had Taco Bell was when they came out with the Buff Box. I'd never had Taco Bell before that. So that was last year was the first time I'd ever had Taco Bell.
And what'd you think?
I'm going to save I'm not going to put that on the spot.
Dang. Okay. And we are not affiliated with any of these restaurants. So
these are completely unsponsored. Okay. You get to go twice because you got your back to back.
So my next one is I did not have this until 2014 when we went to Texas, Whataburger with my wife. Okay. So I didn't even know what the hell they were, but man, I absolutely love Whataburger.
100%. That's a great pick. I already said Five Guys. Northside said Five Guys. I already said Five Guys. That was my number two pick. I don't think I've had much of Whataburger. I've only had it a couple of times when I visit my family down south. But I got to take it just for the sake of like peace of mind and the fact that when I wanted a late night snack last weekend, this is what I ordered. I'm taking McDonald's.
Ooh.
I got to take it. I'm a sucker for a Big Mac. I love me a McFlurry. I'm not a big fries guy from McDonald's, but like a chicken sandwich. I don't know. I got to take McDonald's with my.
So you don't like the fries at McDonald's?
I to be honest with you, it's not that I don't like them. I just don't think that they. I don't know how to explain this. I feel like they hit more when you're a kid. I don't know. Like when I got older, I'm like I kind of like the waffle fries from Chick-fil-A. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like that's more my style.
I'll go through McDonald's sommes, just order French fries. So yeah.
Interesting.
And their Coke is so good. So it's a different thing.
I've heard that too.
Oh man. All right, you're up again.
Oh, I'm up again. Oh geez. Okay. Let me. I'm thinking. I'm looking at my list here. I'm trying to figure out how I can round out. Oh geez. Do I go to a different food group? Okay. And this is going to be a controversial one. I'm so sorry that I have to do this. Subway.
I love Subway.
I'll give you a context. When I was in college, my sophomore year of college, I went and I traveled around Europe.
Yeah.
And I had a really low budget. I didn't have a whole lot of money. The easiest thing I could find when I needed a quick meal was Subway. So I ate a lot of Subway for like 7 weeks straight. I don't know. I'm a sandwich guy, and you could argue Jimmy John's, you could argue some of these other places. I like what I like from Subway.
Yep.
And it's been like a childhood staple for me.
Yep. Yeah, I love Subway, and I worked there a little bit in college, a lot of it, I should say. And I would come home.
I knew I was going to get hate on family. This.
So like, I absolutely love it. And if I didn't love it so much, I don't know if it's fast food, but we're going to count it just because I love it as well.
Yeah, totally.
Next one I have is Del Taco.
Del Taco. Good one. Okay.
Yep.
Good one.
And it felt like they were closing for a minute here, and then they they closed a bunch of them, at least, out here where I live, for a little bit, for like 3 weeks, and then they opened them up. I was like, they're not going to reopen. This is ridiculous. And they actually did. But yeah, I'm a huge love Del Taco though. So that would be my fourth.
Okay. We're doing 5. So you get to do another one to get to your 5th, I think.
Yep. Okay. Yep. So this one is going to be, I am the only one in my family who likes it. My wife, my kids, and then my mom, brothers, they really don't like it either. But I like Burger King, man. The Whopper is so damn good. I love Burger King, and their onion rings are the best.
Interesting. There's a Burger King down the street from my house that's bordering on being shut down because it's just so poorly run. We don't go there very much anymore. But interesting. Okay,
Express, yeah, Texas.
So this is my last one or my last? Yep. Okay.
How many have you done?
I got to figure out. There's a couple here that I'm teetering on. I might just have to bite the bullet. I'm gonna go In-N-Out.
In-N-Out, okay.
Yeah,
love In-N-Out.
It's one of those things that like it's. I think it's new to Colorado. Every time I go to California, I'll get it, but I'm gonna take In-N-Out, pair it with my Five Guys. I've got my burgers. I've got my chicken from Chick-fil-A. I've got Subway in case I want it. Those, and then McDonald's. I feel like. And then what were yours?
I have Chipotle, Taco Bell, Whataburger, Del Taco, and Burger King.
Okay, so let us know in the chat who won. I probably am going to take the L because of Subway, but it's just I have to from my own personal perspective.
At Del Taco, have you ever had their cheeseburger?
No, I honestly did not know that Del Taco had a cheeseburger.
I am telling you right now, man, I'm telling you right now, it sounds crazy. Go get the cheeseburger at Del Taco. It is so good, man. I kid you not. And then In-N-Out, I love In-N-Out, right? Growing, the Southern California or California piece of it. And I don't know what happened, but once we started eating a Whataburger, there's just more options, I guess, on the menu.
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't want an In-N-Out burger, more of a traditional burger with Whataburger. So it is kind of tough.
Oh. Yeah, I would. My honorable mention would be like a Pizza Hut. I don't know. Okay. Like I would maybe do a Pizza Hut
we'd have to go Little Caesars with that with hot and ready, so it's fast food.
Really, you're a Little Caesars guy?
No. I like Pizza Hut better, but if we're gonna stick to fast food, the hot and ready's is fast food.
Hot and ready. I saw a tweet once that was like, where Little Caesars says their pizza's hot and ready, and the response is it good? And they're like, it's hot and it's ready.
Yeah,
you can take it.
Just buy it. Yeah. Oh yeah. We also need better beer. Yeah, I think so too.
Yep. Better beer. Do you have a Colorado? This isn't a draft, but do you have like a Colorado beer of choice?
No, I drink. No, I normally drink like Corona, Dos Equis. Yeah, some more Mexican beers. So, but Colorado in general, no, not really.
All right, I'll say my favorite Colorado beer is Avery White Rascals.
Okay.
That is my go-to. If my all-time favorite beer is from my home state of Maine, an Allagash White.
I have no idea.
It's real beer knowledge. If anybody knows an Allagash White, it's kind of like a Blue Moon.
Okay.
All right.
Love it.
Well, that's pretty much it, right? That's all we got.
Yep, that's all we got today.
Cool.
That's all we got.
Happy Friday.
Great show. Yeah, happy Friday. Yeah. Great show.
Shout out Dukes.
Yeah, man, fantastic interview.
Thank you guys for being here. As always, be good buffs in the community. Be safe. No drinking and driving. Manny, you want to close us out?
Yeah, and real quick too, before Ben's been dead. Thank you, Northside. Thank you guys for the super chat. That means the world to us. Just thank you guys. So, can't do this, guys, without you. And again, Northside, he's been, man, he's been with the show since the very beginning. So, man, just thank you a ton, man. I really do appreciate you. So
yeah, appreciate you guys so much. You guys are automatically entered into the Shoulder to Shoulder Colorado Live Hall of Fame.
There you go.
I'll start putting it up in the back here. We'll get a list of names of our people who submit. So
absolutely. But yeah, make sure you guys, again, thank you for joining us. Make sure to give us a follow. Follow me on X at Manny_303. You can follow Miles at Miles High Buffs. X channel account at Colorado VOCFB. Again, if you missed the show or anything, or want to go back through the archives of them all, check us out on any one of the major streaming podcast platforms it is that you use, and make sure to check out our store. And like Heisman Trophy winning Travis Hunter said, former Buff.
School Buffs, baby.
Great weekend, guys. We'll catch you next week.